Hey everybody, welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. Emily, what are we talking about today?
Today we have someone wrote in and they need a little bit of help.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, my boss often reacts badly when I bring her a problem, and most of my job is to let her know when we have problems. The worst part is many of her initial reactions to the problem are often wrong. But because she handles it badly, no one wants to challenge her.
Yes. First of all, that sounds exhausting.
Yes.
Your job is to bring problems in, and when you bring problems in, it's a bad reaction.
So now you can't do your job, and then you're like panicking all of the time.
Yes. That sounds absolutely exhausting. Yes. But the part that I find interesting is the fact that her initial reactions are often wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's figuring out why that is, and then also figuring out how do we fix this. And ultimately, I think how we fix this is curiosity.
Yeah.
The more curious we are, the more solutions we find.
So when they bring her a problem, she's able to sit with it and think about it instead of initially just judging it and kind of going with that first.
You know, you said judging it. I think there's an instant judgment based on usually fear, based on ego, and then there's a reaction, right? And it sounds like it's probably an explosive reaction. And by the way, this is something we encounter a lot.
Well, I think that's what I use curiosity a lot is when, like, my kids, like if they bring me something, or we've talked about it before, I think, but like if something gets broken or something, instead of just immediately being like, that's terrible, what did you do wrong? Why were you not thinking? Yeah. It's like, take a deep breath. What's more helpful here? Yep. Like, how would I react? And so they don't feel like every time it's like me freaking out. So then they're more willing to bring me that issue. And I'm, they're not then like, Mom is going to be crazy every time anything goes wrong. And they're like hiding it and not talking about it. And it becomes an even bigger issue.
And that's exactly what we see. You're talking about this happening with toddlers. Mm-hmm. That is what happens in organizations. When we respond badly, and we've talked about this on a few different episodes, it keeps people from really talking about problems. But I think curiosity, when we think about that as the solve for this, curiosity causes us to slow down, right? It causes us to ask more questions. And in doing that, we probably discover the truth, right? Because when somebody brings us a problem, they are bringing us a narrow view of that problem. We don't really have the whole picture. We have what they are bringing in, their view of it. And then I think the reason we are not able to be curious is our fear kicks in. And we had a whole episode, just the last one we recorded, about the idea of fear and that core wiring, right?
Assumptions.
Yes, there's automatic assumptions, and that fear kind of colors a lot of those. The other side, I think, is ego. I think as leaders, there is this my job is to solve the problem. It's to have all the answers. And when that ego kicks in, we start to answer quickly. And we don't always then land on the right answer.
Right. It's I just have to have an answer. That is the expectation.
I just have to have something. And often that something is not helpful. And so ultimately, we've got to kind of take that ego, take that fear, try to put those on the shelf, and remain curious.
Ask why.
Yes, asking a lot more questions, asking why, saying, I love the phrase, say more.
Yeah.
When somebody is telling you something and it's clear they're explaining it, but they're also thinking about it as they go, say more, just keep going. Part of this is giving your team the language to do this. Giving them permission to challenge you. I think we have a whole episode on that, on giving people the language to disagree and to challenge. And so as a leader, if I have a response that's not the best, or I'm not seeing the whole picture, they need the language to be able to push back against me.
Definitely.
But also to value curiosity. As a team, to say we want to be curious. Our goal is not just solving the problem quickly. It's solving it correctly.
It's something I just thought of too is whenever, like, if your job is to bring them problems, it may not be, that doesn't necessarily mean it's their job to solve those problems. They just need to sometimes be aware of it. Like sometimes leaders just need to know what's going on and be like, okay, what are you doing? That's part of that curiosity. Okay, how are we going to fix this? Okay, what's going on? What's your plan? And ask those questions more so too, instead of just being like, here's a solution that you didn't ask me for.
That's a really great point. Is often I hear that complaint from leaders all the time. All people do is bring me problems. They never bring me solutions. They have also usually not modeled curiosity. They have set themselves as the center. And again, that's the ego piece, as you bring everything to me and all the answers flow from me. And ultimately, our job is not to take the weight of the world on our shoulders. It's to lead a team that can bear that weight.
Right, to help them figure out that solution so that they can do it the next time too.
Yes.
And then eventually they're just letting you be aware of the problem, but you don't have to solve everything.
Yes. Yeah, no, I love this discussion. Leaders, I would say if you're in problem-solving mode, which, let's be honest, that is your whole day, that is what you do all day is solve problems, really pause. Really try to create some space for curiosity. It has to be cultivated. It is not going to magically happen. And in that pause, try to spot where's your ego coloring your response? Where's your fear coloring your response? To be able to then be curious, to say, hey, fear, I'm not going to listen to you right now. Ego, you're not helping me. I'm going to stay curious and help my people find a solution. And through that, I think you're going to find more novel solutions. I think you're going to find more interesting ways of going about things. And in this case specifically, you're going to be able to solve problems without also freaking your people out, which is super, super helpful.
It's beneficial for everyone.
Yes. If somebody wanted to send us questions like this or scenarios like this, where would they send those to?
lab@forwardpartners.net.
lab@forwardpartners.net. Y'all send those in. We'll discuss them right here on the show. If they want to engage with us on social media, all the content we're putting out, where do they find that?
@forwardpartner.
@forwardpartner, all the major socials.
Yep.
All right, Emily, thank you for bringing this conversation. John, thank you for producing. By the way, John is our new producer, Porchlight Production. He's doing a phenomenal job. I'm doing my best not to call him Danny, and I'm doing my best not to screw his name up. And so we're so thankful for John.
So good.
Helping us. Thank you guys for watching. It means the world to us. We hope you find some life here and hopefully ways to level up your leadership. We will see you back here in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.